Hello, welcome in my nerds. This is Matt, aka Makazi007 from Nerd Crew, coming at you with a pickups video. Now, this is the first in this series, which hopefully will be a year-long series at the very least, where I'm just going to go through month by month. If we pick stuff up, some of the videos I feel like might be a little small because I don't generally pick up a ton of stuff every month, but I will say the month of March, I did get a big load of games, board games, and a couple manga and stuff. So I wanted to kind of showcase them in a video and to kind of really kick off this series. But we did pick up a lot of stuff. We ended up going to a little miniature convention called Charlie's Collectible Show out in Stone Mountain, Georgia. And we also went to a game store that was having its 10th anniversary sale. So they were having a big sale there. We also picked up a few other ins and outs at some kind of little miniature board game stores and stuff when we were exploring Athens, Georgia at the end of the month. And so I just wanted to showcase all that stuff. Let me know in the comments down below if you think that I picked up some great stuff. If you think that there's other stuff in these franchises I should look out for, let me know down below. All right, and let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. Okay, going through our pickups for the month of March 2025. This month we picked up quite a few video games, but we also picked up a couple board games and a couple of manga. And so manga-wise, I'm going to start off with Dandadan Volume 12. I do have volumes 1 through 11, and I happened to be in a bookstore that had volume 12, so I decided why not, and picked it up. I don't want to show off too much of this on the inside because, there might be spoilers for the upcoming movie and new season coming up, so I don't want to, show anything. I don't think the next season is going to get to where this point is. Depends on how many episodes they do, but I don't want to go too much into it. Next up, I happened to just do an Amazon order, and I picked up 2 more manga because I already have volumes 3 and 4 of this manga, and that is Drifting Dragons. Now, these are volumes 1 and 2, and the reason I wanted to get these is because I really like the art style, and I remember when I was looking at volumes 3 and 4 in a bookstore, I read the back, and it seemed interesting, and it says, inspire the new Netflix original anime. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know this had a Netflix original anime until I just read that right now, so I'm going to have to go check that out. But I recently found out that this manga does have a lot of volumes, so I'm going to start trying to read this and try and catch up soon. Next up, we got board games. Now, we did take a trip to Athens, Georgia, where we kind of explored the town and went around to a bunch of different shops there. We checked out a couple of the local board game shops and a couple of local video game retro stores and stuff like that. And when we were in the board game shops, we did happen to pick up this little card game, it looks like, called Level 10. There's not really much going on here in terms of any description. I'm assuming that the person had talked to Erica about this game because she's the one who actually bought it and convinced her to get it. I mean, it looks cute. I like the art style. Looking at the back of it, it genuinely just looks like normal cards. So I actually don't know what kind of game it is. So eventually we'll play this, and I'll hopefully let you guys know. But the next one that I picked up in the same store was this one, Pixel Tactics 4, Expandable Tactical Card Game. Now, a lot of people know that I have been getting into tactical RPGs recently, but yeah, I have been getting into this kind of games, and so when I saw this, I was like, hey, this might be interesting, and so I went ahead and picked it up. I read the back of it. It looked interesting. It looks like there's definitely more of these because it is an expandable tactical card game, and so with more expansions you can play, I think, with more players and more characters. So definitely want to keep an eye out for this in future stores and possibly pick those up. Oh, actually, in that same store, I did pick up one more game I forgot about. This one. It's called The Gang. It's a little hard to read on camera. There it is. And basically, it's a cooperative poker game. And I do like cooperative games because I like playing cooperative games with Erica. And so I saw this game in the store and I was like, very interesting. And then I read the back of it, and it kind of seems like it's almost like an Ocean's 11 board game where you work together. And so that seemed interesting to me. It wasn't very expensive. I think it was like, oh yeah, the price tag's down here. It was $16, so not too bad. So I decided to pick that one up. And then we went to a different board game store where I ended up picking up these 2 games. Now, we've got, where is it? I'm trying to see where the actual name of the game is. This one says Scorn Stockade, and this one says, oh, there it is, Kinfire Delve. That's what it's called. I got 2 of them. They apparently is 3 of these that are currently out. I got these 2. As you can see, this one isn't wrapped up, so we did play this one. And the reason why I bought 2 is because the guy at the store was pretty much saying how this is kind of like a roguelike board game where you're diving deep into a well, and you and the other person have to work together to defeat the monsters. And if you get more than one, you can put them together, and then you can kind of have more than 2 people. You can have up to 4 people. So I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. That's interesting. So I was going to get all 3 because it sounded interesting, but he didn't have the other one in stock. So I got these 2. And I got to say, what a great pickup. This game was awesome. Me and Erica actually did beat it on our first try, but it did take a lot of effort and a lot of strategy to get through it. Other than that, we didn't get any more board games. The only other like kind of oddity that I got that I wanted to talk about is I did pick this up. This wireless controller adapter for N64 consoles from Blue Retro? And the reason I got this is, here it is here. I got the clear one. They come in different colors if I remember correctly, but I got this, and the reason why is because recently I did a mod on one of my old N64 controllers, which you can see here. This is a real N64 controller. This is the one from my childhood, and I modded it. You can see I got rid of the cord and put in a whole new stick and a whole new board, so now it's Bluetooth. And the whole purpose of this technically is so that this can work Bluetooth with any system. But I wanted to work with the N64, and for some reason I thought the mod came with something like this, and it didn't. So if you go to 8BitDo and get this mod, just keep in mind that you cannot connect it to an N64 controller right out the box. However, with this thing, it does actually connect right out the box. I didn't have to do anything. There's a lot of instructions in here for how to use it on different systems. I literally just plugged this straight into my N64, and it worked perfectly. So I highly recommend upgrading your old N64 controllers to be Bluetooth and wireless, mostly because just wireless makes it easier so that you can sit farther away from the TV, as well as, those wires tend to fray over time, and the joysticks tend to be, kind of screwed up, but this mod comes with a joystick, and it's kind of more of like a GameCube style joystick, so hopefully it'll last longer. And I don't know, it feels better. This was the one I chose to do, even though it was my childhood original N64. I chose to gut this one and redo this one because it's the only N64 controller I have that has a really bad joystick. So I was like, let me redo that. And then I unfortunately realized afterward that I couldn't even use it on my N64 without that extra piece, which I did end up picking up, and I'm so glad it worked. Yeah, that's all kind of like the oddity stuff that I've picked up last month in March, because I am, full disclosure, filming this in April. Unfortunately, I was trying to see if I could do it at the end of March, but at the end of March is when we took our trip to Athens, and that's when we picked up a lot of the stuff that we ended up getting. So I wanted to make sure that they were included in this video. So the next stuff that we got is all video games. And mind you, it's going to seem like a lot, but I want anyone who's watching this to know that almost everything I got on some kind of a sale. And some of them still have their price tags on them. But first up, we went to something called Charlie's Collectible Show out in, where is that? Stone Mountain, Georgia. It's like a flea market / convention mixed together, and it's got a lot of anime, video games, and other like toys and tabletop stuff. But we went there for the first time to check it out, and we went to all the retro game shops, and this is the first game I picked up, called War Gods. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know anything about this game. A while back, I went through price charting and put my whole collection on there, and I also went through a list I found online of every N64 game ever released in North America and just made like a generic wish list. So now when I go to these conventions, I'll go ahead and be like, oh, is it on my wish list? It is. I'll go ahead and grab it. This one says $11. I think I got this for $10 if I remember correctly. I definitely didn't pay full price, but I don't remember if it was $10 or if it was less than $10 for this guy. But we're going to check this one out eventually. I do have to clean it still, although it looks very clean, so I'm assuming the guy who sold it to me probably already cleaned it. It's got a really clean label. It looks legit and new. You know what I mean? It's got like the little serial number. It's got the proper screws. I haven't opened it up to look at the board, but I kind of trust that it's new. And honestly, an $11 game, you're not going to repro those, so I went ahead and picked that up. Another thing that we picked up is this right here, Final Fantasy X on the PlayStation 2. Now, you might be asking yourself multiple questions. One, why did you get the PS2 version when there's a ton of remakes out there? And also, why did you get disc only? As a collector, I strive to try and get complete stuff, except for N64 and Super Nintendo, because that's like cardboard and stuff, and I don't really vibe with that. But with like the actual like cases, like CD cases stuff, I typically try to get them full and complete. We already have Final Fantasy X box and manual. We're just missing the disc, so that's why we picked this up. I think we got this for $5. I think, if I remember correctly, War Gods, this, and a couple other things you're going to see all came from the same booth, and so I got like a package deal. I think I got like a total of $12 off when I bought everything. I did notice Erica picked this game out, and I did notice it's a little beat up on the back. I'm still confident that it plays, even though it's kind of scratched up, and I am going to try and clean this at some point soon, because I did get a disc cleaner for Christmas last year, so I want to test it out anyway. So this will be a good first test. And because see, when she showed it to me, I saw this, and I was like, oh, I think just the case is scratched. I didn't realize the disc is also a little on the scratch side. But again, that's fine. That's the nature of collecting for retro. Sometimes you get stuff, and sometimes you get screwed. But for literally, I think I paid maybe $5 for this. That's not a total loss. Next up, I got John Wick Hex. Now, I went to a store that was celebrating its 10th anniversary and doing a massive sale, and it was basically buy two get one free on all games on their wall, not in their like glass shelves. So this is one of the ones that I got off the shelf, and I did pay full price for it. It was $15, and then not from that sale, but I also picked up a couple other Switch games. We got Cult of the Lamb, which I've been wanting to get for a long time. I bought this on sale on Amazon, if I remember correctly. Or, no, I'm sorry. I bought this at Walmart on sale. They were just having a random Walmart sale, and so I bought it. And I got it mostly because we were streaming our Spring of Endless Runs on Nerd Crew over on twitch.tv/nerdcrew. And this is one of the roguelikes I wanted to play, with Erica, so we ended up picking it up. And, I had to get it physically for that. Next up, I did get a super rare game last month, which is SteamWorld Build. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know much about the SteamWorld series. I mostly bought this because I own a lot of the SteamWorld stuff through super rare games, and I just didn't want to miss out on it for when I eventually do get into this franchise. I have the game already, and for those of you who are Switch collectors, you know that super rare games, they come in this unique packaging, which I personally despise because for a collector's standpoint, the second you open this packaging, even if you heat this sticker up and pop it open, it already loses value, which I don't like. And again, I'm not in the reselling business, so I don't really care all that much, but it is frustrating to know that like the second you open this outer thing, it's lost like $20-ish worth of value just from that. So that's a little frustrating, but I did get this game. It looks like a cool little game, and it's just going to be added to the SteamWorld collection that I've been building. Two games I got from, I believe Limited Run was running a sale, if I remember correctly, and I got these two games from that. You can kind of see this light is a little bit, there it is. I got Redemption Reapers and Shadowrun Trilogy. Now, like I was saying before, I really do like tactical RPGs, and I've heard of Shadowrun. I didn't realize it was a tactical RPG, though, but I've heard of Shadowrun before, and I've heard a lot of good things that people like this franchise. So when I saw it was on sale from Limited Run, the trilogy, I was like, might as well get the whole trilogy. I don't remember how much I paid for this. I don't know how much it normally goes for, but I definitely got a good deal on that, as well as Redemption Reapers. Which, same thing. I mean, I was just looking through their sale, and this game, piqued my interest. I think this is also, I'm trying to remember what this is. Conquer Fierce Battles. I think this is just an RPG. I don't think this is a tactics-based game based off of the images I'm seeing here. This kind of looks tactical, but I think this is just turn-based combat, which is fine. But it looked interesting. The artwork looks cool, and so we'll check that out. Again, it was on the cheaper side, so I'm not too worried about that. Next up, I'm going to go through another thing on Limited Run, which I got. And I will say, for the record, this game I bought forever ago. And I know Limited Run gets a lot of shit for taking a long time with some of their stuff. But usually they get shit for taking a long time with their special edition stuff, their collector's editions, which I think is fair. You got to make sure the whole thing is there, all the parts are good, and stuff like that. But this is a Super Nintendo game I got from them. And I picked this one up, Shockman Zero. I've never really bought a Super Nintendo game like this before, ever. You know what I mean? Like, I've never bought like a brand new in-box like this since I was a kid. And obviously, even when I was a kid, I don't remember actually ever getting them like this. We might have bought most of our games used, if I'm being honest with you. But I saw this, and it was really cool. It looked interesting. It was on, I believe, I'm trying to remember, I think this was on like a Christmas sale like a year ago or something like that when I picked it up. And I kept getting emails constantly being like, oh, sorry, it's getting delayed, it's getting delayed, it's getting delayed. And then finally one day it was like, it's shipping, and it happened to show up in the month of March. And so I was able to get this guy, and I will open this and play it for the record. I don't know when. I like that it comes with a plastic protective case because, again, this is just cardboard, which is why I typically don't collect Super Nintendo box games. But the game looked interesting, and so I decided to pick it up and give Limited Run a chance with some of their other things, because from Limited Run I exclusively grab Switch games, and so I was like, let me try one of their other things that they sell. And I am interested in Super Nintendo games. Obviously I've got a decent collection of them, and so I'm going to add this guy to it. Next up will be the Wii games that I was able to grab. I will say all of these games I believe I got from... Oh, no. Okay. So one game... Yeah, it looks like 3 of the games I got from Charlie's Collectibles, and 1 game I got from that store celebrating its 10th anniversary. So the first thing was Link's Crossbow Training complete in, well, I guess you could say box, technically, but the disc looks really good. I had Link's Crossbow Training when I first had a Wii, and then when I sold it, I got rid of it with the Zapper. I do still need to get a Zapper. And honestly, looking at this, I am very surprised no one has made this. No one's 3D printed this thing. No one's gotten a Zapper and like painted it this way. That kind of surprises me now that I'm looking at it. But it's complete in box. The manual looks good. The box is a little on the chafed side, but that's fine. And the disc is good. I did like this game. It was a little challenging, and I didn't beat it, so I'm excited to give it another try. But I'm going to wait and try and buy a Zapper first before I start playing this. Next up, I got this game, The Conduit. Now, I will say it's got a little bit of schmutzy up here, which is fine. It was $10, but I think this was the game I got for free when I got the buy 2 get 1. I've heard good stuff about The Conduit. It is literally one of the best shooting games on the Wii, like it says here, apparently, allegedly. So I ended up picking it up. And again, you know, we always go for complete in box. The disc looks good, and this came from one of the booths, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this came from one of the booths. And again, I bought a bunch of stuff at that little mini convention at Charlie's Collectible, and I don't remember paying full price for anything. I think everyone was really good about being like, oh yeah, I could take $1 off here, $1 off there. So I don't think I paid full price at all for this game, even though it was $10. I think I probably paid like $8 for it, maybe, in the long run. I wish I had recorded, like written down what I paid for everything. But next up was a game I never really seen before called Dragon Blade: Wrath of Fire. This game looked pretty interesting, and it was only $6. I noticed a bunch of stores at the convention had this, and funny enough, they all had different prices on it. I ended up paying $5 for it. There was one booth that was selling it for $5, and there was like 2 booths selling it for $8. So I ended up getting a good deal on it. Complete in box again with its manual and its disc. It's tricky because the Wii is around the time where manuals started kind of disappearing. So like sometimes it's hard to even realize if it's supposed to have one, but this one is complete. And next up, at that 10th anniversary sale, we ended up picking up Overlord Dark Legend. I've heard very good things about the Overlord series, and so when I saw this at the store and it was only $10, and again, buy 2 get 1 free, I think this was one of the free games I got. Complete in box, like I always do. This game, if I remember correctly, this is kind of like a RTS style game where you control these little goblins and stuff to do your bidding, and that sounds kind of fun to me, so I'm excited to give this one a try. Now, I haven't tested any of the games, which is rare for me, because usually whenever I buy retro games, I just immediately test them when I get home from like a convention or a store or whatever. But yeah, I haven't actually tested all these games. I hope they all work. Judging on the way they all look, the only one I'm nervous about is that Final Fantasy X game, but again, it was cheap, so even if it doesn't work, I'm not really like heartbroken on it. But next up, we got the Nintendo DS. Yes, I have started to collect for the DS and 3DS, and I got both of these games from the convention. First up, we got Pokemon Ranger. I've heard so many good things about Pokemon Ranger, and a friend of mine told me this was like one of her favorite games growing up, and she was like, oh man, if you ever get a chance to get it, you should get it. And it is complete. The guy selling it, this was at the tag sale event that they were having there. The guy had it marked for $50. I'm pretty sure I paid $40 for this. Was it 40, 45? It was 40. I definitely paid 40 for this. So I think I got a pretty good deal on Pokemon Ranger. And I found out after buying this that there's other Pokemon Ranger games. I think there's 2 other ones in this franchise. So I definitely am going to have to try and grab those at some point. But I obviously have to play this one first. I don't really know much about this game or this like sub-franchise. But from my point of view, every non-mainline Pokemon game usually ends up being really great. And I end up enjoying it a lot. So I'm pretty excited to give this one a try sometime soon. And the other game I got was Orcs and Elves. This one, I'm trying to remember. Oh, I also got this at the convention. And this was in a bundle. They had it marked for 30. Again, it was in a bundle where the end price was like 85 bucks, and then I ended up getting everything for 70. So I ended up getting like, I think 15 bucks off. I've never heard of this game before, but the artwork kind of sold me. I mean, it looks cool. It sounds cool. And yeah, I was like, this seems pretty interesting. It looks like it's kind of like an FPS. It says it's from the award-winning creators of Doom RPG, which I didn't know existed. But yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like it's a fantasy-style RPG. You're battling a dragon here, and I was like, yeah, I'd give this a shot. Why not? And then next up, I know there's a lot of games, guys. We went kind of buck wild in March, I will say. But next up, we got the 3DS. Pokemon Rumble Blast. This game, I saw this in the case at the store. They had it marked for 25. I think I ended up paying, because the other part of the sale was everything else was 10% off. So this was in a case, so I did get it 10% off at least. And it looked to me like it was just this kind of looks like just like an arena battler or something. But again, I mean, anytime I see a Pokemon game that's not a mainline franchise, I'm usually more inclined to go with that over paying like $80, $90 for Pokemon Black or Pokemon White or, you know, X and Y and stuff like that. So when I see games like this, I'm immediately interested. And again, you know, we got it complete in box. So we're adding to the very small but very fastly growing, I will say, 3DS collection that we've been building. At the store as well, again, 10% off. We got Ever Oasis. This game I've purely never heard of. Like, ever. I've never heard of this game. I looked at the back. It looks like they had it for 36. Again, I got 10% off. And it just looked like an interesting JRPG. And then it says build your own oasis and arc on a thrilling adventure. So I think this has kind of got some building, like base building mechanics and stuff into it. Once again, this one, I did ask the guy if it was technically complete in box, because it doesn't have a manual. It just has this kind of weird instruction booklet thing on how to view the manual. And so he looked it up for me, and he did assure me that this is technically complete in box. If it's not, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll take a look at trying to get the manual. But here it says to view the built-in instruction manual, tap the labeled menu button on the 3DS. So I'm pretty sure that this is how this game comes. Unfortunately, again, this is around that era where they were starting to get rid of the manuals. But what's very confusing is you got rid of the manual, but you still kept an instruction booklet on how to get to the manual. It's like, why even bother doing that at that point? But Ever Oasis looked interesting. I like the cutesy chibi art style. And so I was like, yeah, I'd give something like this a shot. And again, when I see games like this and I see them for under like $40-ish, I'm usually willing to take a risk on them. Because worst case scenario, if I don't like the game, I know that it actually has some value. You know, I could probably sell it back either online by myself for probably, you know, $30 to $40, or I can always take it back to the store I bought it from, trade it in for something else. And last on our 3DS list, we got Pokemon Moon. Now, I picked this up mostly because, again, 10% off. They only wanted... No, wait a minute. No, I got this at the convention. Never mind. This was in a grouping with all that other stuff. Once again, we got a viewing the manual one instead of a real manual, and Pokemon Moon, the actual cartridge. But the main reason I got this is because I missed out on the Nintendo DS and 3DS, and I never played any of the Pokemon games either. And so I am interested in trying to dive into those. But as everyone knows, Pokemon games on any handheld system besides the Switch itself are hella expensive. And so when I see them, and I know Moon and Sun aren't really a lot. This one was $25. I think I probably got it for 20-ish. I was like, I might as well get it before one day Sun and Moon ends up becoming weirdly popular. Even though I did play Sun a little bit, and I think this is touted as one of the worst. What is it called? Not games in the Pokemon franchise, but one of the worst like groupings, like out of all the different groupings and stuff. But I mean, I didn't hate Sun when I had it. It's just I didn't play it enough. I will say that. So now we're going to give Moon a try, and eventually we'll probably pick up the second Moon and all that other stuff too. Now another game that I got, which this is the only PS5 game that we got, was Monster Hunter Wilds. You can see here that it is the Steelbook edition, which that is a very nice Steelbook. The disc isn't in it, I think, because it's probably in our PS5 right now, but it is complete. And I'm glad it doesn't, because sometimes you get Steelbook editions and it's digital and then it comes with a book, which makes no sense. And then sometimes you get Steelbooks that are separate and then you got to buy the game separately. And then there's other times where you get the Steelbook editions that come with a Steelbook and a normal case. Luckily, this one is just the Steelbook. And again, like I said, the disc is missing here because it's in the system currently. Erica decided to get this, and then I ended up getting it on Xbox digitally so that we could play together. But this game has been a lot of fun. I actually just completed the story of this game recently, and so now we're just on the hunting grind at this point, trying to get that HR up so that we can go ahead and focus in on being able to do all the event quests and all that stuff. We did get a couple PS2 games, and these are both kind of a little bit on the odd side, and I think I got them from the same place too. From Charlie's Collectibles Show, the first one was Treasure Planet. Now, Erica loves this movie. So when I saw that there was a PS2 game, I was like, have you ever played it before? And of course she responded with, no, I didn't even know it existed. So I was like, well, we got to get it then, you know. I'm assuming that it's basically just the story from it is a one-player game. I'm assuming it's just the story from the actual movie, but, you know, I mean, it's still pretty cool. This is back during that time period where movies were constantly, especially Disney movies, were getting games, but the games were normally pretty decent. So the disc on this one does look pretty decent. Could probably use a little bit of a clean. It's got a couple fingerprint smudges, but those might actually be my own fingerprints. And then it does have the manual, which we like to see. And so, yeah. And again, $10. And if I remember correctly, I got this one and the next one you're about to see. And I think I got like a couple bucks off when I bought them. So from that convention. Onimusha Blade Warriors. Now, a new Onimusha game was announced recently, and I saw this, and I saw it was like about $20, and I've heard from a friend that the Onimusha series in general is actually pretty fun. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, I'll get this. You know, why not get an Onimusha game? And then I realized after I bought it that it's actually just a fighting game. It's not a real Onimusha game. So that I might have gotten a little burned on this one. I don't know how much I'll actually play this because I don't really love fighting games, but it is complete in box. And worst case scenario, I could always, you know, purge it out of the collection. But if you've played this game and you think it's good, let me know down below in the comments. Or if you played this game and you think it's terrible, tell me in the comments and be like, hey, just get rid of that thing because it's not even worth playing. But it does look cool, and I don't hate fighting games. I'm just not good at them. So maybe if this is like an easier fighting game, me and Erica can have some fun with it because I know that Erica actually does enjoy fighting games. Oh, I forgot. I actually did get a couple other PS5 games. It's a little confusing because PS5 and PS4 games, I got the stack next to me, and I will say PS5 and PS4, they're basically in the same case. It's just they got the white line versus the blue line. I did get this at a GameStop, actually, when we were out in the Athens area. We visited a local GameStop. I like going to GameStops because sometimes they do have a few gems hidden amongst them. I notice when I watch YouTubers go into them, they always find like a ton of great stuff for good prices. I typically don't, and we do have a PS5 now. I am trying to build our PS5 collection, and so I saw this game, and I'm trying to look for the price tag. I think I already picked the price tag off. This is a Red Arts game, which I'm realizing now, usually those keep their value pretty well, but I'm pretty sure I paid like $15 for this game, if I remember correctly, at GameStop, and it just looked interesting. Like, there's no other reason why I got it. It just looked interesting. How do you get this? How do you get these PS5 games out? There it is. Disc looks clean. I mean, it's from a GameStop, so you know that it's going to be good. Damn, that is very mirrored. You could see my crappy webcam in the mirror of that. But, yeah, I mean, Command Squadron of the Stellar Gears, it looks like a tactical RPG. It does say it's a next-gen robot S-RPG. I don't know what S stands for, though. Sci-fi, maybe? I'm not too sure. But this grid-based system right here made me think it was a tactical RPG, so that's why I went ahead and grabbed it. And I do like big robots, and I like to be more interested in robot games. So I was like, let's get it and give it a shot. Why not? So we got that as a PS5 game. So the next game we got was this game, Chris Tales, for the PS5. This is also on Switch, but Erica saw the art style when we were in the store and was like, we needed another game for the buy two get one free deal, and so this one I think ended up being our other free game because it's only $10, and I'm pretty sure the two free games ended up being the $10 ones. But it looks just like your standard RPG with turn-based combat, and it is complete. It's even got this like insert, and I think this is like a poster that it came with, as well as the disc. And I checked the back of the disc. It's pretty clean. I mean, it's from a store. Worst case scenario, I could always return it to said store. Just got to take the trip out there. But yeah, this was a pretty good pickup, I think. And last but not least, we have the PS4 games. And the first one I'm going to show you is the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. Now, when we were at that store where it was having its big sale, we looked for this game, but unfortunately they didn't have a copy of it. So on our way home, because Erica really wanted this game because she just recently completed Uncharted 4 and she wanted to go back and play the first three. And so on our way home, I was like, let's check the GameStop near our house, and if it has it, let's get it. So while we were driving, she decided to call, and when she called, they were like, oh yeah, we actually do have that in stock right now. So we went over there and we picked up Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. And I will say Erica is playing this right now, so the disc is not in here, unfortunately. I thought Monster Hunter was in the system, but it looks like I think Monster Hunter is in a different case, which I know is a big no-no, but Erica tends to do that where she'll put games in the wrong cases if she's switching between two. But she is currently playing Uncharted Drake's Fortune, and she's enjoying it quite heavily. So this was a really good pickup, and honestly, I think this was like $20. That's not bad. $20 for 3 games, like that's pretty solid. I don't know too much about the Uncharted series. It never really intrigued me that much, but watching Erica play it, like it really is like watching just an extended movie or TV series, and pretty fun. The next PS4 games, now again, don't judge me. These are games I've always really wanted to play. I have watched the anime before, and I see these games all the time. They're always on sale, and since it was, again, buy two, get one free, I decided to pick these up for cheap, and they are some Sword Art Online games. I did get Sword Art Online Alicization Licorice, Hollow Realization, and Lost Song. Now, I don't know much about the Sword Art Online games and how they play. I'm pretty sure they're all action RPGs, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure they might be... This one's got 4-player online co-op. I didn't realize that. They might be turn-based games, but honestly, I think they're action RPGs. And I don't know. I've always liked the series. I know that there's certain parts of this series that are terrible, I will fully admit. I liked the first season up until they leave Ironcrad, and I really liked Alicization. That was a 6th season, and I liked the Gun Gale season. So the show itself has its ups and downs, but I've always been interested in playing the games to see if maybe they dive heavier into, kind of the first season type stuff, or if they continue the stories in other ways. And so when I saw them all there, literally in a row on the shelf, and I was like, they're all super cheap. I think each one was, 12, 14, and 12. Buy two, get one free, you know what I mean, kind of games. I was like, I think it's a no-brainer. Might as well pick them up since we wanted to pick up a bunch of games and support that local business. And then finally, last but certainly not least, always on the hunt for VR games, and I happen to find one that I've literally never heard of before, which is Smash Hit Plunder for the PS4 VR. Anytime I see a game, specifically a game that interests me, but I've also never heard of it, that's when I'm like, yep, I need to get it. It was pretty cheap, $15. I ended up asking for 10, and the guy gave it to me for 10. It's still sealed, although the seal's broken, which doesn't bother me because, again, we're going to open and play this bad boy up anyway. And, yeah, it just says award-winning Smash Hit Plunder is a huge VR game with multiple game modes, unique multiplayer options, additional players can join the fun from the same TV screen, and that's another thing, too. You have local and single-player gaming. Like, that I'm sold on. I will say that is definitely something I look for in these PS4 VR games, because if I can play a game with Erica, that just makes it all the more better. And obviously you can't hook up 2 VR headsets to a PS4, so most games that do have some kind of weird local co-op usually do this, where it's like one person's in the VR and the others are on the couch hanging out and playing the game with you. But yeah, at some point, I'm going to open this bad boy up this year, hopefully, and play it. I'm currently going through other VR games, which I am going to make a video about soon. I'm going to do another update. But yeah, that's all of the game pickups that I got in the month of March. Man, what a massive pickups video. Maybe not as big as some other content creators out there, but keep in mind, we are a small time thing. Like, I'm just a normal person collecting video games. I'm not someone who gets tons of revenue from like Twitch and YouTube and uses that to collect games or writes it off of my taxes or anything like that. So my advice for everyone else, people kind of more like me who are just in the game collecting video games, retro games, as well as board games and stuff like that, like, biggest piece of advice, and it's very obvious, look for them sales. Always look for sales. As you notice in this video, I want to say probably 85% of the stuff we picked up for this month was all on sale. Now, were they great sales? Not all of them. Some of them were. We got some buy two get one free. We got some 10% offs. Like I said, Cult of the Lamb was on sale at Walmart. So generally, a big piece of advice is if you don't want to keep looking out for sales yourself, join some Facebook collectors groups. I know Facebook's a very outdated thing, but like, honestly, there's a lot of retro game, board game, and like tabletop game like Facebook groups, and a lot of them are collectors. Sometimes they're purging their own libraries and games, and they're very easy to do bulk deals. They are also collectors, so they know what their stuff is worth, but at the same time, they're usually willing to break deals with you to be like, hey, from collector to collector, if you buy 3 games, I'll give you 15% off price charting prices and stuff, which is helpful, especially if you're someone who's not looking to resell stuff, like me, who, when I pick up these games, I buy them with the full intention of eventually playing them, whether it's now, in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, or when I retire, who knows, but I do plan on actually playing them. But yeah, that is the March pickups video. I will say, if you watched the whole thing, thanks a lot. Drop us a like. If you liked the stuff that we got, go ahead and drop us a comment below. Let me know the good stuff. Let me know the bad stuff. If there's any games that I got that you're like, man, that game kind of sucks, dude, you should probably not even keep it, let me know. And if you have these games in your collections, let me know. And also, of course, if you did your own March pickups, go ahead and tell me what you picked up. You can go ahead and follow us over on Instagram at NerdCrew. That's NerdCrew spelled with 3s instead of E's. You can go over to our Bluesky, which is NerdCrew on Bluesky, where I also try and sometimes post stuff like this. I'm going to post that this video went live, so hopefully we'll get some traffic through there. But generally speaking, I'm going to try and do this monthly. I will say it's a little tough because, again, not every month I'm going to pick up a bunch of stuff. And if I end up picking up like 1 or 2 things, I'll just probably post over there instead of making a video about it. But yeah, if you like the video, go ahead and drop a like, and let me know if you want to see more pickups videos. Hopefully in the future, I can get Jesse, Tang, and Erica to also show off what they've picked up. Unfortunately, I asked them for this video, and no one else really picked up much this month. Again, I did go out with Erica to buy some of these games, and some of them are hers, but unfortunately she didn't have time to showcase them and didn't really want to be on camera for that at this point. But next time I think I'll get her to go ahead and showcase the stuff that she gets herself. That way there's a little bit more variety in these videos. All right, and until next time, I'll see you later, nerds.